Manga-Waido.
My name is Tomoyasu Ohara. I'm 26 years old. My father has been gone for as long as I can remember, and all my life, I've been living poorly with my mother. I devoted myself to my studies so that I could repay my mother, who worked from morning till night as much as possible. And as a result... Yes! I passed!
You worked so hard.
I got into one of the best private preparatory schools in the prefecture as a special student. I could finally repay my mother. But just when I was thinking that... My mother was on her way home from work, driving a moped, when she suffered heart failure, had an accident, and died. In deep despair, I decided to drop out of high school and started working as soon as I was taken in by relatives in the countryside. My relatives were not well off, and I wanted to become a full-fledged adult as soon as possible so that my mother in heaven would feel secure. After being turned down by a number of warehouse companies in the countryside, I asked a nearby warehouse company, and I was finally able to have an interview. I need to get this job here. I was heading to the place in the rain, anxious for my first interview, but... Huh? I noticed that the fence on the vacant lot along the curve was broken. I walked a little closer to see what was going on, and I heard what sounded like a moan from inside. I looked across the grass and saw an overturned motorcycle and a woman lying on the ground. Are you okay?
Ouch.
Thank God. She seems to be conscious. I took care of the woman. I have to call for help. And just when I pulled out my phone...
Don't call the cops.
No, but...
I finally got away. Call the number I give you for help.
I knew there was a reason, so I dialed the number the woman gave me and handed her my phone. The woman painfully gave a general location and hung up.
Thanks, kid. Don't you have something planned?
Oh, the job interview!
Interview. Is it for a part-time job or something? I'm sorry you got dragged into this by us idiots.
What are you talking about? There's no way I leave you alone in this rain! I can't do anything, but I'm here for you!
Sorry. Thanks.
A few moments later, the sound of several motorcycles approached from the distance.
Boss, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. This kid saved me. He saved my life. Hey, you guys! This is the man who saved Kiyoka-san's life! Bow your heads! Yes, thank you for saving the boss's life!
No problem. After a while, the boss managed to recover enough to move. She then straddled the back of the motorcycle of one of her subordinates, Chisato-san.
I'm Kiyoka. What's your name, kid?
Oh, I'm Ohara. Tomoyasu Ohara.
Thanks. Tomoyasu Ohara. I'm in your debt.
More importantly, please, don't do such reckless things anymore. Even just driving a motorcycle is dangerous. And everybody else, all of you are young women.
You've got some serious nerve saying that to the gang.
Oh, no, I mean, I lost my mother in an accident, so I just...
Tomoyasu Ohara, I will definitely repay this debt someday, so don't you forget about me.
Yes! And so, Kiyoka-san and the others drove off in a roar. I came across a crazy scene. Oh, the interview! In the end, I failed the interview because I was very late. But I got a job elsewhere, and I set myself to work my ass off. 10 years later, I'm now working for an event planning and management company. Recently, in recognition of my hard work, I became the first young person to be put in charge of an upcoming fashion event. The event will be hosted by World 5, a women's apparel company. It was an important job for me to create the event from scratch by discussing with the staff in charge at 5, including staffing. Then, on the day of the first meeting with the client, "Hello, I'm Otsubo. The person in charge was a man of the same age, named Shunsuke Otsubo. He was the son of the managing director of Five, but I was relieved to find that he was a friendly, good-natured young man. I answered the name of the high school that I had attended for less than a year, but... Seriously? We're the same! Really? But... I'm glad! You know, it's hard to talk about anything unless we're on the same level, right? No, I mean... I didn't have a chance to mention that I had dropped out of school. Anyway, he seemed to like me, and I got off to a good start. After that, I met with Otsubo-san many times to prepare for the event, but... I know it's just the nature of our company, but everyone's a female, and it's not easy to work with them. And the seniors are really strict. That's why it's easier to work with guys at the same level. I see. So, about the number of staff members for the event. What group were you in? I've never heard of Tomoyasu Ohara, even though I'm pretty well known. He talked a lot, often going on tangents. No matter how many times I tried to get him back on track, he would often continue to talk about things that had nothing to do with work. Meanwhile, the event was getting closer and closer. I dropped out after a year, for family reasons. What? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Anyway, the show's coming up, so let's get on with the business and... Wait, does that mean you only graduated from middle school? Well, I guess so. Huh? You're not even on the same level after all! And you dropped out after 1 year? You got in on a fluke and had to quit because you couldn't keep up, didn't you? No, it's not like that! It was because of a family situation! You should have told me earlier. If I had known at the beginning, I would have had them change the person in charge. There's no way I can work with a middle school graduate. I was speechless at the sudden change in attitude. But there was no time to change the person in charge now. However, after that day, Otsubo-san's attitude changed drastically. Although he was quiet when the people around him weren't looking, when it was just the two of us alone... Here are the documents. Put them in order. This is impossible without you, Otsubo-san! Shut up and get on with it. Oh, and the person in charge of the event is super scary, so make sure you do it well. Thanks. Since I was the subcontractor, there was no way I could say anything strong, so I had no choice but to endure. Then, the day of the meeting with the event manager of 5 Inc. arrived, as the main event was approaching. Otsubo-san informed me that the meeting would be held at the venue on the day of the event. I prepared well and waited at the venue, but... Why isn't anyone here? When the time for the meeting approached, not a single person concerned showed up. I called Otsubo-san to confirm. What are you doing? It's past 1! No, I'm already at the venue. What? The venue? We're having the briefing today at my office. What? Wait, I thought I sent you an email about the change. Anyway, hurry up. It might be pointless to come, but good luck. Hey! Of course, I didn't get an email. That was on purpose. I jumped into a taxi as fast as I could. Thank you. Where to? World 5 Inc. Please. You in a hurry? Yes, I'm running late. I'll do my best to hurry then. The kind-hearted driver was considerate and drove me a little faster than usual, but late is late. Even 5 Inc. would be inconvenienced by this. What is that guy thinking? As I was thinking about that... What's going on? The car in front isn't moving, even though it's green. What? Driver! Can you open the door? Open? What? Hey! I got out of the taxi and looked into the driver's seat of the car in front. Inside, an elderly man was writhing in agony, clutching his chest. Driver! Please, call an ambulance right away! Okay. Are you okay? Help is on the way! Perhaps a pre-existing heart disease-related illness or something. He must have had a sudden seizure. just like my mom. Thinking it was best not to move him right now, the driver moved the car, and I did a quick traffic control and waited for the police and EMS to arrive. I explained the situation to the police, who arrived shortly after, and left it to them to handle the rest. I hopped back into the taxi, and by the time I arrived at 5, it was an hour past the appointed time. You're in a hurry, right? You don't have to pay. You saved a man's life. Go on! Thank you, Masuyama-san! I managed to get to 5 Inc., but waiting for me at the entrance was Otsubo-san with a grin on his face. You're so late. Nakamura-san got angry and retreated to her room. I apologize for that. I was assisting a patient who needed emergency medical care. I know you're a middle school graduate, but you're not even good at lying, are you? Well then, just leave the documents and go home.
Are you the managers of the event?
Yes?
Nakamura-san would like to see you. Please, come in.
What? I'm sure she's going to yell at you a lot. She's a scary woman after all. Good luck. I walked into the office with Otsubo-san in a state of confusion and anxiety. And then, I came face to face with Nakamura-san, who was in charge of the event.
You're the one in charge?
Yes. My name is Ohara. I am very sorry for being late today. I just wanted to explain a few things. Huh? Nakamura-san, he has no manners, does he? And he lied about being late because he was helping people. Who would believe such an excuse?
You've got some nerve.
Ha! You're done!
I'm relieved to see you're still the same. Tomoyasu Ohara.
What?
Helping people? I believe you.
Huh? What are you talking about, Nakamura-san?
Hey, don't tell me you forgot about me, kid.
Kid? Are you the boss from that time?
Correct. I'm surprised at the coincidence. Well, we'll talk about memories later. Let's hear it.
Yes. What? I never thought I'd meet Kiyoka-san, the boss of the ladies' gang whom I saved 10 years ago. But it wasn't the time to be surprised. I told Nakamura-san what I was originally going to report.
I see. It's well done. I'm relieved. However, there's something that concerns me a little. You did most of this, didn't you?
Of course not! If anything, I did most of... Yes, I did almost everything.
I thought so. Otsubo couldn't have created such a good document.
There's a good reason for that! He said he's only graduated from middle school, so I wanted him to learn...
Otsubo,
Yes?
I've only graduated from middle school, too.
What?
You're always full of talk when you can't even do your job. I don't know if you're the son of the managing director or what, but aren't you the one who's supposed to be learning from him? He's lying about helping people? You know, he's the kind of guy who would give up his own life to help a complete stranger. The fact that I'm alive right now proves it.
Nakamura-san.
Anyway, you're out of this event now.
Huh?
I'll take care of the rest. Get lost. Nice to meet you, kid. I mean, Ohara.
Yes, it's nice to meet you. I don't understand. I don't care what happens! Those were Otsubo's last words as he disappeared. According to what she told me, after the accident, Nakamura-san disbanded her motorcycle gang. She left the gang world behind and started working part-time at World 5 store. She was recognized for her aggressive sales policies and leadership skills, and was quickly promoted to a full-time position and assigned to the head office. After this incident, Nakamura-san was put directly in charge of the project I had been on as promised. Preparations proceeded smoothly. Of course, the event was a great success. My reputation within my company has risen considerably as well. Sometime after the event, I called Nakamura-san to thank her again. Nakamura-san, Thank you so much!
I just did my job. And this still doesn't pay back what I owe you. My life is much heavier than this.
No problem. I will visit you again to thank you.
Oh, about that. I quit my job at 5.
What? Is it because of Otsubo-san? He said his father was the managing director.
No, I went independent. I've already set up an office, so show your face.
What? After work, I immediately left my office and headed for the address Nakamura-san gave me. In that office, I found her steadily preparing for work. Apparently, the other employees had just gone shopping, and as we were talking about how she had started her own business,
I didn't fit in with their ways over there, so I've been thinking about it for a while.
I see. But wasn't it hard to get employees?
Boss, the first team is back. Oh, Chitsato, thanks.
Boss? Wait. You're the receptionist from back then. And the others? No way! You're kidding!
You're right. You guys remember him? He saved my life. Thanks for saving the boss that time.
Are you serious? That's right. Most of the people gathered here were members of the biker gang that Nakamura-san was leading at the time. After the disbandment, each of them rehabilitated themselves and started working diligently in society. Some of them made an effort to follow the boss and join 5 Inc. And the receptionist who invited me inside when I was set up by Otsubo was also the vice president, Chisato-san. And when people heard that Nakamura-san was going independent, former members who had been active in various fields gathered together. In other words, the biker gang that disbanded 10 years ago was now reunited to create an excellent company. Incidentally, what happened to that Otsubo? According to what Nakamura-san told me, her accusations exposed Otsubo's terrible attitude towards his daily work. And because of the outflow of excellent employees, including her, he was forced to resign, along with his father, the managing director.
Well, let's not talk about that. Boss, be brave! Hey kid, are you free tonight? Maybe we could have dinner.
What?
You're not going to refuse the boss's invitation, are you?
Of course! I was thinking of asking you out myself!
Really? I'm glad.
I want to have a long relationship with this company and with a strong but lovely boss. That's what I'm thinking.